Hey everyone, welcome back to Marketing 100, where we share with you 100 marketing tips to level up your salon or spa business. I'm Kayle, your salon and spa business bestie, and I'm joined today, as always, by my good friend and founder of the salon business, John Hallberg. I'm actually excited about our topic today. It feels like it's salon business, like salon and spa business 101, but I guarantee it's something that a lot of businesses aren't doing.
Out of these 100 ideas that we're sharing, could this potentially be the easiest one to implement? It's something that you can really take when we hang up today and just go freaking do. What I'm talking about is just making rebooking a habit. We know that if clients are booked with an upcoming appointment after they leave, they are more likely to stay loyal with you. They're also more likely to come in more frequently when they have a time on the books and is not waiting until, it's panic time and time to book again. The value here is in the nuance on how do we do this and how do we really make this a reality. Yeah. How to rebook and the conversation that you will need to have will vary depending on the type of business that you run. But I think generally what's really crucial to not make this like an awkward conversation at the counter, it's just to make sure during the appointment, you're bringing up a plan with the client and you're starting to talk already about what you're doing today and what that means for what you need to do next time and what we're going to be doing in a few months from now. Because as you're kind of just having that conversation, you're building trust with your client. You're actually signaling that you deeply care about them. And people know that if you're delivering meaningful value in a business, it's rarely that it's just a one appointment thing, but it's something that you kind of do over time. So just recognizing that and starting to just talk about that plan and future appointment as kind of something that is just obvious, just makes it so much easier when you hit the counter and it's time to check out.
I think that if it's not something that you're talking about before that client gets to the front desk, there's an issue. One of my major initiatives working in salons and spas was making scheduling and selling prescriptive. Right? You as a stylist, you as an esthetician, you as a professional in this industry are sort of like a doctor, right? I like to say this to all my stylists, all my estheticians, think of yourself like a doctor. You know best what's good for your client's hair or their skin, whatever the case may be. And it's your job to guide them in the right direction. And if you're not giving them direction, then you're doing them and yourself a disservice by not establishing yourself as an authority and being a caretaker in that regard. It becomes a lot less like selling in that case. I've heard countless stylists, countless estheticians say well, I'm not a salesperson. I don't like selling. And I understand that hesitation, but at the same time, you're not selling, you're prescribing, right? You are making a suggestion based on your professional education and experience on what you think is the best for them, right? And people are willing to take the lead. People like to be guided in that way. I like not necessarily the word forceful is not what I would use, but a confident and self-assured professional when it comes to hair or skin or anything else. I like someone who says, hey, I want to see you back in 6 weeks because next time I want to do this. I think your skin's going to be much better. And I think your hair is going to be in this place. And I want to try this with you next time. Or next time we're going to do this because A, B, and C, right? Because benefit A, B, and C. I want you to take this home, use this for the next 2 weeks. And then next time you're back, we'll check on your hair or your skin. And we're going to try this, right? So all of these things are, I want you to do this. I want to see you back in this amount of time. It implies care. It implies thoughtfulness. It implies that you have a plan. And that's what your clients need and want, whether or not they're conveying that. You say that to them in the room or in your chair, and then you're reiterating that at the counter. You're telling the front desk, hey, I want to see them back in 6 weeks. Let's get them in this week or whatever, right? Being specific, being thoughtful, being mindful of that, you're reinforcing that concept with your clients, and they're going to respond to it better because then you've got a prescriptive plan. Everybody's informed. It's already something they're thinking about, and it makes it easier for them not to put so much thought into getting that appointment on the books.
And I think at the core of it, it's also about just elevating how you think about the work and the value your business delivers. It actually reminds me of a course that is available on the Salon Business YouTube channel that I did together with Thomas Edlund, who run the Samotsu Salon here in the Stockholm area. Their mission is their clients should never feel ugly. So what they are offering there is free touch-up services in between appointments. So whoever feels let's getting a touch-up, they can always go in and they fix that in between appointments. And with that, they sell more retail, and like there's a lot of other benefits. Like check out that course rather than me going into all of that there. He's explaining all of that. But at the core, again, it's about, I think, elevating what it is really the value that you're providing. And then suddenly like these conversations about building the plan and what do we do next, and it just comes natural and just becomes like obvious in that early conversation during the appointment that you should be booking in for a second one. If we get a little bit more tactical as well, like as you kind of get to the counter and it's time to have the conversation about when to come in, take charge here in 8 weeks or in 7 weeks or whatever, like, the business you run, what is the right timing? Like that's when I think it would be right to, to get you booked in again. Looking at the calendar now, I have an opening on Thursday at this time. Would that work for you? Like getting quite specific and really showing that you're thinking about them. Because when you get that specific, it also signals that, your time is valuable. You're not available at all times. You're kind of like taking the charge and taking the lead on that. And as you book in your client, just remind them that they can obviously reschedule at any time via your booking software by giving you a call. There's not really like a big commitment for them. We're really doing this just to make sure that they get a time that fits their schedule, right? What I would say as well as a final point here is around reporting and tracking, especially if you have a team and everyone is responsible for rebookings. How people are comfortable with doing this will vary across your team. And I think what's really helpful is just to pull a report where you show by team member their rebooking rate. So essentially a number that show how big percentage of their clients have a new appointment booked within 24 hours from their last appointment. Like if you're using the MangoMint tool, the MangoMint software, there is a business intelligence reports for appointments specifically, where this is like one of the values that you have in there. So like having a report like that you can just surface with your team so everybody can see that, will certainly like drive a certain behavior that people don't want to have the lower number there in terms of like how good they are with rebooking, but they want to drive that up. And this is really like a value that they 100% control, right? It's easy for them to like get that number up. They just need to make sure they are actually getting people rebooked.
Like obviously the intent with those reports is not to like shame anybody or make anybody feel like they're not pulling their weight, but it is important to make people aware of those things and help them grow in that regard as well, which I think is a great way to motivate people. And I think we're also not as good at evaluating our own efficacy at doing things as we think we are. So I think that seeing those sorts of things like, oh, maybe I'm really not rebooking as much as I thought, or maybe I'm not putting the effort in there. This should be a very like educational thing. So those business reports on the MangoMint platform are super helpful for that. I really like those. They make a big difference in being able to make data-backed decisions in your business and be able to sort of help your team grow and inform them. It's a great way to keep building on your success and learning along with your team.
Tech can really help with this. I'm so excited about MangoMint's new flows feature that they're just rolling out, which allows you to set up these type of automations. If someone didn't book in for a follow-up appointment, you could automatically, like within a certain time period, however you set that up, ping them a reminder or even ping them an offer or like something specifically. You can have that like running as an automated thing in the background. I wouldn't get lazy though and think that, okay, so now we don't need to like ask for rebooking again. Like
we don't need to try anymore.
No, we should no, exactly. We should totally be doing all the stuff that we talked about, but like leveraging tech, like the flows feature in MangoMint to automate and just like get that a bit of extra support is certainly a smart call as well.
All right, everybody, that is what we've got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into Marketing 100. If you want to try out these tactics that we talked about, we've got a link in the description. You can try MangoMint for free for 30 days. You get a little bit of extra time on us. Don't tell anybody. We look forward to seeing you in the next one, and we'll talk to you soon on Marketing 100.